Hey, John. Here we go.
How's it going, everybody?
Everybody's good. On they are coming. On they are coming. Jennifer, how you been? Oh, I can't hear you. You've got to unmute yourself, please.
Run around like a chipmunk.
Running around like a chipmunk? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Anything good happening?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Well, that was very embarrassing yesterday.
What happened?
Well, I told you I'm not, I'm technically challenged the person, and things are coming slowly. So yesterday after working double, and then I was working last night too. And so I had the rental client went to show the house. Well, I could not access the property.
With the lockbox or?
Yes. Well, come to realization, I never activated my dang century lock. Oh man.
That stinks. Well, don't beat yourself up too much. Well, did you get it activated yet?
No, I gotta call them, somebody, because
Okay.
I tried it several times yesterday and today. It's not working.
Oh,
So
I'm
I
sure
gotta
that.
give somebody a call. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that was no fun. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Lee, how are you doing today? What's happening in your world?
Well, I started making phone calls. I'm still waiting for my one-on-one. So I've been just playing with the dashboard.
Okay. Okay.
There are apps I cannot get into, and I still have to sign up with the Red X and all that.
Okay.
But I made a few phone calls this morning.
Okay, good for you.
I got somebody who is moving to Okinawa. I don't know how I got him in my list.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, he's in North Carolina. He's moving to Okinawa, and he has properties in California. Okay, I said.
Hey, you can make it a photo.
Interesting. So he must be, it sounds like he's a Marine.
Yes.
In
Well,
North Carolina, headed to Okinawa.
Yeah, he's a civilian working for the government, I guess.
Okay.
But boy, quite a long conversation with him for just because he thinks I can help. Anyway, I said I'll see if I can talk to somebody from Okinawa to help him out.
Okay, that was very kind. And how about, are you going to be able to take the listing in North Carolina or refer it at least, get a referral fee out of it?
No, he's just renting. His house is in California.
His house is in California.
His house is in California.
Okay.
He lives in North Carolina, and he's moving to. So
Okay.
it's a.
Okay.
I don't know how I got him in my system.
Okay. All right. Very good. Any other phone calls?
Yes, I called a friend who wants to move to a 55 and up subdivision, and so, but she's not quite sure. So I'm just friending her. I guess
Okay. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. All right.
I'm joining the Master Gardener class, not Master Gardener, a garden club tomorrow, which is in my subdivision.
Okay. Understood. All right. Networking indeed. John, where is everybody? What is going on?
I don't know. Since we switched the link, I'm guessing they're either probably still in the other class
Yeah,
or they were trying to get onto the other link.
we,
Oh
we
my
had we had a
goodness.
launching at 12 o'clock, the
So
initial launching.
I got a question. Why do you guys switch around so much?
You
Switch
didn't
ar-
have, yeah, you didn't have this on Monday, and we thought it wasn't in the schedule.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it wasn't in the yeah, it wasn't in the calendar. No.
Okay. Is it back in the calendar now or no?
It's back in the calendar.
Okay.
But is
Okay.
the link the same? Right? Because they switched the link.
You know, I don't know. I just click it from the calendar.
Okay.
So if they didn't click it from the calendar, they'd be lost.
Right. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, you got a link in the, okay. To answer your question, Jen, I don't know that we switch around that much. It's just that we were using the same Zoom account for all of the trainings. And so what was happening was if Isaiah was doing a training that started at noon and was supposed to end at 1:15, but he went longer because he was trying to answer questions and make sure everybody got the answers, then everybody that wanted this training would be stuck waiting to get in and not know what was going on.
Which happened quite a few times.
Yeah, and now we've got the situation of, I think, mass confusion because we consistently had 35 agents on this training every day. And so
Yeah,
there has to be wow.
Yeah,
I like this training.
Well, I thank you, Lee. We like it too. We like it too.
Yeah. Like
There's
if it's
Dana.
every day
Hi,
at
Dana.
this time.
Hey, so just a heads up, I don't know if this is the case for everyone else, but when you go in through the Ren dashboard, through the calendar to click on this class, it takes you to that new 5-day boot camp. So
All right.
I just spent like 5-10
figured.
minutes in there. I didn't know what was going on.
I figured that what was happening, Dana.
So
The other link.
Samantha
Okay.
gave
There's
me a link to
issues
this.
with the link. Yep.
Okay. Is Samantha aware of that, Dana, then?
I mean, I just told them. I
Okay.
don't know if I did say
Okay.
that I came over there through
right.
the link in the calendar.
Okay. All right. You're very kind. I'm gonna disappear for a second because I'm gonna
Okay.
check into
And
that.
I saw other
I'll be
people
back.
in there. I guarantee
Did you?
you they're all in.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. I'll be back.
There's
How you guys doing today?
Tired.
Oh, I hear you.
I'm working
Same
with
here.
I'm working with the dreaded B word in real estate. I have 2 buyers, so I've been writing offers for the past 48 hours. I don't even know how many offers I wrote, and they are all rejected.
well, that's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, working
we're
with buyers
offering
is always
more.
the funnest part of the business.
We're offering over asking, and they have a pretty solid down payment, but not getting anywhere.
What market are you at?
Yeah, what market is
I'm
it?
in
It's
Atlanta,
right?
Yeah,
Atlanta?
so it's Metro Atlanta, and actually they're kind of flexible. So we're looking at several counties around Atlanta, but I mean, we can't. Like one person told me they had 75 offers on a house yesterday. We
No
were
way.
one of the 75. So, and I was like, please, is there anything? And she's like, nope, sorry.
And it's very hard to maneuver in Atlanta.
75. Wow.
Yeah.
How long was it on the market?
Like it went on the market like on the weekend. So literally it wasn't even like a couple of days.
What was the price point?
Yeah,
It
what
was
price?
cheaper. It was a 240, which is like unheard of. It's in Lawrenceville, which is right outside of a suburb of Atlanta, but 240 price point. I guess it was kind of moving. It had, kind of things to fix, but still like you can't get anything for that price. But it's the same with these that are like 270. I've been writing offers on those, and we've been putting more, and I mean, I'm like, God, I don't know what to say.
Well, it could always be worse, right? It could be no business. You know?
Yes, and it's actually motivation to go after the sellers, honestly, because I'm like, this is not
They need to
sustainable.
understand that this never happens. When are you going to be able to put your property up and get 75 offers?
Yeah,
And
never.
within days. And just imagine how much you're going to net versus, you know, an average market, how much more you can sell your property for because of that bidding war.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's like this one neighborhood, the houses are listed for like 250, 260, but they're selling for like 300, 310, 320. I'm like,
Will it
if they're
appraise?
Now, are you
I don't-
noticing that any of these people are selling by owner at that price?
no, I mean, I don't think they are. Most of the ones that I ran into, they're all agents.
Exactly. So when you
Because
guys
the
are
people that are-
prospecting, if you're talking to for sale by owners, is this the type of story you think you should be telling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you guys telling it?
No, because we're working with buyers and writing 130 offers in 2 days.
So when you're prospecting, okay, don't you think this is a really good story to tell?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because now what you're doing is you're painting a picture. What I like to do is when I'm prospecting, I look at my 7 steps and my entire conversation as I'm an artist and I'm painting a canvas. Okay.
Mhm.
If I miss any of those 7 steps, my goal to have a masterpiece or a perfect conversation is it's not going to, the picture isn't going to be painted as well as I want to show it off. Right?
Mhm.
Does that make sense as far as an analogy? Right?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be pieces missing that I essentially wanted on there. Okay. Now, one thing that you have just done, if I'm a homeowner, is if I'm selling on my own, you're creating doubt. If I'm selling on my own, you're creating curiosity as far as what I could potentially end up, you know, having happen to me if I decided to work with an agent. Because the people that are getting these ridiculous types offers, they're not selling on their own. Yeah, they might save 2 or 3% on commission, but they're not selling $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 above list price. And how many people out there are making that mistake of trying to save 2 to 3% by selling on their own and leaving 6 to 10% on the table,
Yeah.
right? So telling a story like that is huge. So I would definitely include that, you know, when you're prospecting and building up the market and you know, just trying to create a little bit of doubt when you're talking to some for sale by owners. I think that'll help a lot.
Yeah, prospecting with your buyer in mind, especially
Yeah.
that particular buyer.
Well, that's what I told them. I'm like, can you like narrow down your search so I can go door knock a neighborhood or send flyers or something? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go. It's just, I mean, I know eventually we'll find something, you know, but it's just, it's just been an exhausting 2 days. I don't even know. I've just been at the computer writing offers.
Understand that. So how is have you guys been making your calls? Have you guys set a goal as far as how many people you want to talk to in a day? Have you guys been consistent with doing it lately? I mean, how is that working out with your prospecting?
So, John, so for me, it's been coming out good, but I just kicked up my numbers a lot because I've just figured what I really need. So I now need 50 contacts a day. So a little freaked out by taking these classes. I'm not prospecting right now. So this is because it's, you know, it's 10 o'clock my time right now. So, but I've decided because
Literally pitch black behind you.
yeah, well, that's that's my garage. I usually have my gray screen, but it's my dirty, messy garage. So I created lighting so you can't really see behind it.
No worries.
So
Better than mine.
yeah, but yeah. So I've really tried to. I'm bumping it up as of today. because I really need to achieve some higher goals than.
So what do you think is an attainable goal based off of,
Well-
what you're working, what you can do every day? And that's something that, you feel like you'll get results on.
So
Because you don't want to set a goal that it's not going to be attainable if you
yeah.
can't actually work it.
right. So 25 doors or talking to 22 people a day is attainable. That's only 3 hours of work. So I'm figuring now that I've added for sale by owners into my list, that's attainable too now, because I with using Reddit or Reddix, whatever it's, I'm getting the names immediately in the morning, so I don't have to search for them. So that
Yep.
helps. So I feel it is attainable.
Okay.
So doing both, where I can do the calls first thing in the morning and then get out in the doors by noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Now, Michelle, you're in obviously a completely different market than all of us. You're in the paradise. So what are you actually seeing out there?
Where do I stand?
Where are you seeing as far as your prospecting? Where do you feel like you need to be where you're at right now? And what do you need to step up in order to hit your goals?
I need to make the calls. So the last 2 weeks, I've been actually really setting up like my KV core system and my social media and working on a couple short sales. So that's taking up a lot of time. But with that being said, I have implemented video chat. So I make a really short clip, a really general one, and I sent it out all to my, I use Opsity as one of my lead gens, and I sent it all out to them. And believe it or not, I had a couple of, they actually reply, and I met with someone yesterday. So she wants to buy and sell. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you look at that, just a video text, and it's going to turn into a 2 transaction.
Yes.
Right? And that's a high end area. I'm guessing it's probably a higher end property. What's the price point?
No, this one is just a town. Well, it's kind of like a condo.
Okay.
He's wanting 420 for it. I think that's a little bit too high, but for where her condo is located. But yeah, townhouses are going for, they're creeping up to the 500 for a 2-2. So
very nice.
like
Very
high
nice.
fours, yeah.
Right. So you just sent out a video text, right? Something that took maybe 30 seconds to do, and it ended up turning into 2 transactions pretty much.
Yeah, and because Opsity, you gotta maintain like everything else. You gotta nurture them, right? So you gotta keep in touch with them, at least every week. The app forces you to do something with them, and so I kind of let it lapse. So just to reconnect with them, I said, hey, just thought you'd want to see who you're actually speaking to, because these all come through the phone, right? And yeah, I do get responses, so I think that's pretty cool. It's giving me the confidence to do more video for like my social media and stuff, which I'm not there yet. Yeah.
Awesome. Great. Good job. Anybody else tried out the video text? Have any results or anything that you want to share? That you guys are seeing with the video texting?
No, but I'm still waiting for someone to call me back and set me up because I cannot get into the marketing hub.
Yeah,
I can
same here.
access the dashboard, but I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I mean, actually, I think I do, but it's something between LionDesk and Ren, because I used to be with LionDesk. So now when I log in, they're like, your trial expired. And so LionDesk was like, well, Ren has to contact us. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I'll shoot an email on that, Dana. Who there was a second agent that just said
Yeah, there was a second.
Me.
me.
I'm
Lee, you're waiting
waiting.
as well. Okay. So
I spoke with Nate last week. So I sent
Okay.
a couple of emails after that, but I've not heard anything back.
all righty. All right. Well, we'll jump on that and send an email out.
Thank you.
I need.
Very welcome.
I think
Very
I need a new person this morning. I was speaking to Todd. I think it's Todd Bosmart, something like that. He said that he gonna let somebody know. He says seems like I need someone else, maybe different level.
Need someone else different. Okay. I don't really understand. Whom were you speaking with, Jen?
Todd.
Todd. Okay, I'll shoot a note over to that team and they'll know what's going on. You need somebody with a different level, eh? Let's see.
Can I ask something too?
Yeah.
So I think this group was all in the September round, right? For the most part, we were all in the September round of the lead gen challenge thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when I know he put out a some sort of offer, if you did something, then you get Redx. And then I know a lot of us asked, well, we already subscribed to Redx, and they said, oh, we'll work it out, whatever, get with support and all this kind of stuff. So I had my launch call and all of that, and I forgot to ask, so I reached out to rent support, and they said, well, unfortunately, that's only for new clients if you already have a subscription. So I'm like,
But we
and
are new.
Nate confirmed that. So I was like, okay, so what is the deal? So we don't get the Redx then. I mean, we can't switch over. Like because we signed up, I signed up for the middle program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I didn't write it down, that he said that you get Redx with it. But now it sounds a little bit
during the boot camp, and I take very thorough notes. It was the first.
Dana,
40
of course you
people.
take very thorough notes. Of course you do.
It was like, if you were one of the first 40 people during that 2-day boot camp, they said that they would do Redx. Now I have to go back and see, is it for 30 days or is it for like a little bit longer?
No, I swear he said it's longer than that. I could be wrong,
Yes.
but
Agree.
All right, I will make a
Okay.
note of that as well.
We'll
I
address
don't,
that.
yeah, I just have to tell you guys, I don't know anything. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that jumps on here and tries to help you make money and talk about the business and the blueprint. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I want you to be taken care of. So I have to write the one last thing down with Michelle with the Redx. And
And
I
I'm
will
the guy that converts leads. So
Yeah,
when
John's
it
the guy that
comes to
converts
that,
and we appreciate you guys.
I'm kind of as clueless as you are. It all sounds great, but we can get you in touch with the right
Yeah.
people to answer your questions.
Yes,
And-
and I
and the
promise I
thing
will
is-
send a note through the internal chat right to those people with everybody that just said something, and I will
I appreciate you. I
Yeah.
appreciate
charmingly
Because
ask.
that was definitely, I also don't have anything on Redx either. And I know
Okay.
that they said, if you were one of the first, and I know I jumped on as soon as he sent that link. So I probably was like one of the first 5 to sign up.
And
But-
then so I asked the question like, okay, well then if I stop my subscription, then can I jump on the Isaiah Colton program, right? The rent program
Right.
for Redx.
Yeah.
And they kind of didn't.
They didn't
answer
like
me.
that answer, did they?
No.
Well, he
No.
was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to take business away from Redx. I remember that. So, you
Oh,
know.
speaking of Redx, let's do this. Let's role play a Redx for sale by owner.
John, that was just an amazing pivot, a testament to your skill set, and I just applaud you.
And
Yes, indeed. Let's
somebody
add
who
value.
we have not heard from very much, who has been very talkative today, which I really appreciate it. Michelle, I'd like you to prospect
Oh, no.
another agent.
Yes. I am.
And I want the agent to act as if they were the actual homeowner and give her a little bit of a hard time.
Me.
Jennifer,
Oh, my gosh.
like, I want to mess with somebody today.
Okay, Jennifer. So Jennifer's the homeowner and I'm the agent?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Oh, gosh.
yep. So I'm not going to paint the scenario, right? Because this is a random Redx call, right? This came up in your database. You're making the call. You see Redx for sale by owner. All you have is an address and Jennifer. Okay.
Boy, okay.
And
Okay.
then I want you to just go from there.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Okay,
I'm
here we
gonna
go.
help you, Michelle, because I care
Yeah.
about you. I'm gonna help you for a second. So
Okay.
go ahead, sit up straight, get those shoulders back. And just as a reminder, right? You're reaching out. We're gonna have a strong intro, and here's why we're calling, and jump into getting those answers to your 3 questions. And you've got a great phone voice, and I know you're gonna do fantastic. Okay? I
You
believe
got
in you.
this. You got
Yes,
this.
she's got this. She's got this.
Oh,
Okay.
you got something for me too?
Here we go.
You're
Okay.
the one
You
taking the
got
phone
this,
call,
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
You can frustrate her. You can do that.
Yeah.
Bring those
We just
objections.
played this, we just flipped these roles the other day, so here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Jennifer Haynes?
Yeah, that's Amar.
Hi, Jennifer. I understand that you live on 123 Prospect, and I see that you have your home for sale. Is that correct?
Yeah, I put out the sign, try to see, who's biting.
Well, that's awesome. How are things going for you?
Well, I have a few showings but none of them, actually made offer yet.
Okay. Why have you decided to list the property on your own?
Hey, remember, I can do it myself. The market is hot and everybody's selling it. And, I hear about they get, a whole lot more than, what they, put out for on the market. So I think, I can do it by myself and I don't have to pay anybody.
Hmm. Okay, well, from what I see, it looks like a great property. Would you mind if I came by to see it?
Why you want to see my house?
I may have some potential buyers for you.
You may have.
Possibility, yes.
That doesn't help. That's not promising.
Aren't you looking for buyers? But you are
Well,
looking for someone
yeah,
to buy your home, right?
I get the buyers. I just don't have a contract yet.
Right. And if I could see your home and potentially bring you some buyers, wouldn't that be of interest to you?
Depending on, what you have to show me.
Okay, well, great. If I could come by tomorrow afternoon and take a look at your property, that way, I can better fit my clients to your property and potentially bring you a buyer. How does that sound?
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So you got the buyer, you say you have a buyers. Do you have a human buyers you're thinking of, or you have actual buyers that, pre-approved and, they have enough income to pay for it and credits and all that, whole 9 yards qualified? Because
Possibly.
I don't want
Possibly.
anybody to just in and out of my house.
I understand that. I understand that. So let me ask you this. So by you listing the house yourself, you're allowing people to come through, strangers, and not a trusted agent with their clients. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I haven't met you, so how do I know if I trust you?
That is a very good question. But that's why I would love to come by and meet you, see your house, and just get more information.
Okay.
So tomorrow at 2 o'clock sounds good?
Yeah, let me take a look at my planner. Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, awesome. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Okay, round of applause for Michelle and Jennifer. Great job.
That was very good.
I actually was kind of focusing too much on trying to bring the buyers though, right? I kind of want to try to steer
You
it more
want to
to
move away from that, because one of the biggest things that I have noticed and I have seen, when you mention the word buyers, immediately you are creating a potential objection. You see what that ended up leading into? Well, are these buyers qualified? Right? Or are these buyers da 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 da? You know what I mean? It creates an objection and you get away from the goal of creating doubt on what you are doing right now as the best course of action to accomplish your goals. Right? What you generally want to always make sure you do is discovery. Find out why somebody is selling the property. What's their pain? What's their motivation? Find out if they've done anything to the property when it comes to like any updates or anything like that. A lot of times the information on Zillow, it's not even accurate. It says that it's a 3-bedroom when it's 2.5 or 1.5 bath, right? So it's not even 100% advertising what they're trying to sell for. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, I forgot.
Sorry, I distracted you.
That's okay, right?
Michelle,
so
you had to leave early yesterday. Were you still on when I had to talk about my blood pressure going up and I had to take more medicine? And usually I only have a glass of wine at 6 when my wife gets home, but I might have had to have one earlier yesterday.
I think
Were you still on when I covered that or no at the end?
yeah, no, I had to jump
You
off.
had to go. Okay. John, can you believe this? I went through all of that yesterday and I don't believe a single one of those agents is on today. So do you want to do it this time? Yeah, how about that?
right.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, first off, Jennifer, you were kind of brutal.
Jen's in a bad mood. Jennifer's in a bad mood.
No,
You were no, I'm just kidding. No, you did a good job of being a homeowner, right? So that's exactly what you're gonna get on a call. Okay.
I know that's what I'm afraid of.
I
And
do
I'm
want to
gonna
ask you though. I did want to ask you, Michelle, do you typically mention that we have buyers? That we have buyers that are looking for properties like yours? Do you guys
No.
generally volunteer that information? Like
No.
on a for sale by owner? So just out of curiosity, and it's not you, it's a lot of agents. What's the reason that you would volunteer that information? Just out of curiosity.
Well,
Just trying to get there, I think.
I think
It's
it's like
just-
almost a talking point
their
for us
interest.
that don't have no clue how to talk to for sale by owners, me being one of them.
Right.
You know,
So
it's like, okay.
it's one of the
have a
biggest
buyer and I'm not
things-
lying, I have
The
two of
one-
them.
right. It's one of the biggest things you want to avoid in a conversation is getting into anything having to do with buyers. If you, and this is what I've found in 5 years of doing this, you mention the word buyers, your conversation, the rest of it is going to be completely tailored to you bringing a buyer. I'll pay you 3%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to list with an agent. You want to bring me a buyer, be more than happy to talk.
Yep.
But that's about it. And then it makes it so hard to overcome the true objection that they have. Because now they're focused on the whole bring me a buyer. I don't want to work with you unless you got a buy. And what did we end up doing? We actually created that objection ourselves because we volunteered information that didn't need to be provided. The only time I would even recommend saying that is if like you had a legitimate buyer that was looking for a property in that area at that price point. And then, because then if you say you have buyers and you go on that appointment, they may say, so where's your buyer? Now you have confrontation at the door. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense, guys?
If I ever say anything about a buyer, I usually say, I would like to come and tour your home and see if your home has the criteria that my clients are looking for.
That's something like that is completely different, right? Because now what you're doing is you're getting information for potential clients you may have. You haven't volunteered by saying that you have a buyer. You know, you can say, what I'd like to do is do a walkthrough. I have some clients that are potentially looking for properties very similar to what you are selling. And while I'm there, I can also run some numbers, give you a good idea as far as what that exposure could look like. If you decided to work with me, at most, you'll make a new friend, right? Or something like along the lines of that, right? But at the same time, I can also let my potential buyers know after I walk through if this is going to be a good fit for them.
Would you offer to do or ask them if they've gotten a updated home valuation, offer one or what?
Oh yeah, 100%. Basically what I do is I do that in the beginning. I ask them how they came up with the price. Was it based off of comps? Did you do an appraisal? Just maybe other properties in the neighborhood and what they were selling for? Oh yeah, my neighbor sold down the street. I think he sold like $10,000 above list. Okay. Do you know if he was working with a realtor or if he was selling on his own? He was with a realtor. 9 times out of 10, that's what they're going to say. And then they're going to say it really late, right? Because now you have already created an opportunity for yourself to close on them. Because at the end of the call, you can say, hey, your neighbor down the street sold $10,000 above ask. He was doing it on his own. I'm seeing here he wanted a contract in days. We've been sitting on the market for 2 weeks. My concern is that after about 10 days, most people start getting lowballed. And you already told me the whole reason you were doing it on your own was to maximize your net. So that kind of defeats the whole purpose. So if we can get you a little bit more exposure and give yourself a better position to entertain multiple offers, that's got to be a conversation with having, right?
I love that. Thank you. Because just yesterday, I took all the for sale by owner information from Zillow, and I don't know if I got that from Isaiah's training, but I made the spreadsheet. So now you forced me to do that. So now I have more confidence to make the calls.
Good
Yeah,
for
I
you,
mean,
Michelle. Make that happen.
Definitely. I mean, like when I worked the first sale by owners, it's really just a simple process with the information. I just say I'm calling to get some information, wanted to make sure that everything was correct. Sometimes Zillow, it's not always 100% accurate. And I just go right into it. Okay, it is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It's not 2 or 3 full. Okay, the square footage is accurate. The price point, how you came up with the price point. Bought it 5 years ago. I have to ask, most people usually stay 7 to 10. I mean, why would you even sell this property? You just get a job promotion, you're looking to move out of the area. Usually opens the floodgates, and that helps you start building rapport. And then you can kind of just branch your questions off of the responses they're giving you. Then from there, you can just go right into, well, you couldn't have picked a better time to sell, build up the market, trial close, and ask for the appointment. In a nutshell. I hope that wasn't like too much at once.
No, that was great, John. That was very good. That was very good.
I had Red Bull and coffee.
Hi, Scott. Hi, Marcel. Who else has got questions today?
Hello.
What's happening? How can we be of assistance helping you make money? Dana, how can we make sure that you never again spend all those hours writing offers? What do you need? Just use us, squeeze us like a rag. Nothing. Debbie, what about you? What do you need today?
Just tell them they have to write an offer $100,000 above list price because you're sick and tired of writing offers and you want it to close. You're going to waste your time unless it's over $100,000 above ask.
Yes.
Joe, you mentioned that you guys did a role play and all the agents weren't there. Were you guys want to do that?
It wasn't really a role play. It was more of a, what would you call that, John?
Just a conversation.
Yeah. It was more of a come to Jesus, Michelle. It was more, what I shared with the group at the end was that, we went through a role play and then a couple of different things were talked about. And we actually spent some time on buyers yesterday, which is unusual for this group. And there was much to be said about that. And I just said, I said, you guys, you're raising my blood pressure and I'm going to need, definitely going to need to have wine earlier than usual. And then I said, the biggest part is that my self-image is just getting crushed, because I consider myself a pretty good coach, but we're not taking action at the rate that we could and that we should be. Real estate is the ideal vehicle to take you wherever it is that you want to go in your life, wherever it is that you are right now and where you want to get to. Trust me when I tell you, I've seen it so many times. Real estate is the bridge. And there's no barrier to entry. You don't need a Stanford degree. You don't need to have gone to a elite East Coast university or have the right last name. In this business, as long as you'll understand the blueprint and the best practices and own the skill set and take action every day, you will put yourself in the class of some of the highest professionals on the entire planet. And that's what John and I so desperately want.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have to ask yourself, why did you become a realtor? What brought you into this business? I'm going to assume the majority of it is because you have the ability to control the amount of income that you can bring in still have the freedom to be around your family and be able to make the amount of money for how much effort that you put in. Right? I'm sure we've all worked at companies where we punched the clock, worked 9 to 5, totally outworked somebody else every single day. And what happened? They got paid more than us. How is that fair? Right? So we get into an industry where we can help people and at the same time get paid for what we're worth. Now, one of the biggest skills that you have to have, and you have to make sure you do to separate yourself from your competition, because let's face it, real estate is you're interviewing every single time you meet with somebody. You're interviewing for a job, right? And you're competing against the competition in that market. So your skills have to be top notch. You have to know your stuff. And if we're not sharpening that axe every day, if we're not prospecting and doing that every day, if we're not making that time, we're going to end up being that 10% or that 90%, right? That isn't doing 10% or whatever I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We're going to end up being that percentage that isn't doing the majority of the transactions. Does that make sense? So we have to constantly, and that's why you guys are here, right? You see the advantage, you see that you need to sharpen your axe or your skills and everything, but you have to make the time, no matter what you do to do the prospecting, as frustrating as it is. Set a goal of how many calls you got to do, how many contacts, how many appointments, and then after you start getting comfortable, raise that goal a little bit. Right? Once you start to hit those goals consistently, raise it a little bit. Okay?
Very well said.
Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Very well said. While you're involved in that activity, you're making thousands of dollars an hour and you're putting yourself in a position to win. And that's what it's all about. Because never again will you feel attached to the outcome. Never again will you make a business decision not consistent with who you are, what you care about, and who you want to serve. And that is the real gift. That is the real gift that is real estate, the real gift. So let's do some more role playing and scripts and dialogues. Who's got questions? Who knows they're going to make some phone calls this afternoon or sometime in the next 23 hours before we have a chance to see you again. And you want to be ready and you want to go through some things.
I think we should do an expired because I'm starting to see some expireds come on the market.
All right.
Anybody want to role play an expired?
Who wants to jump on that? Dana, you're the one that for 2 days was writing buyer offers. I think we should help you out with expireds. What do you think? Can you hear? Where did you go, Dana? You can't even hear me, can you?
I think she
muted you, John.
No, I think she's on a call.
Oh, okay. How about you, Marcel?
You
want to try an expired?
Sure.
All right. Before we go through this, who's willing? If you like this script and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I can do that. That's not bad at all. Who's willing to make just 5 or 6 expired dials in the next 23 hours if you like what's about to happen? Raise your hand if you're willing to do that. Yeah, you promise?
Not
Jennifer,
dials.
Debbie,
Not
Debbie?
dials. 5 or 6 contacts.
5 or 6 contacts.
Expireds in my market.
Okay, well, expireds
I'm
or
in
FISBO.
Florida.
Let's do it that way. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Expireds or FISBOs. We'll do it that way. Marcel, I believe in you. Get that back straight. Get that Southern voice that just employs the law of attraction. Get that ready to go. Get that ready to move. Okay. And you and John, here we go. Here we go.
Am I the caller or am I the?
Yep. I'm
You're
the
the agent,
homeowner.
girl. You're the
I'll be
agent.
I'll be the homeowner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi there. This is Marcel Smith with Peach State Realty, and I'm calling today because I saw that you had your home on the market for a while. Could I ask, is it still for sale?
The listing actually expired, and to be honest with you, I think that we're probably just not even going to sell it anymore.
Well, if I were to find you a buyer, would you be willing to sell it?
Oh yeah, if you got a buyer, bring them on by.
Okay.
I'll pay you a 3% finder's fee.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. May I ask, do you have a place picked out to move to? already.
We actually had a place, but we weren't able to sell this, and we can't carry 2 mortgages. So we ended up losing out on the place that we were looking for. That's why we just kind of decided to hold off. But I mean, if we can get this sold, you know, then you know, we'll start looking around for another place again. I just can't carry 2 mortgages right now.
Oh, sounds good. Where do you want to look for another home?
We're actually looking in Savannah,
Okay.
in Georgia.
Oh, sounds good. That's a really good area. So tell me, why do you think your home did not sell?
To be honest with you, the agent was just, I don't mean to be mean, but I think he was just dumb.
Hmm. Okay, well, tell me some things
He
that he
didn't
did
know.
that-
I mean, he didn't know anything. And I mean, it was my wife's friend. We you know, she was new with the business, but she didn't know what she was doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I would like to come over and take a look at your house. I have some time this afternoon between 4 and 5, or in the morning between 9 and 11. Which one would be best for you?
Yeah, to be honest with that, I really don't know. If you want to give me a call back, I'll talk it over with my wife. But we had kind of just settled on not really getting to sell.
Well, we need to take a look at it and see, if we can get it sold for you and look around and find you another home. So why don't we just go ahead and make an appointment for in the morning at 10? And if that's not okay with your wife, you can give me a call back. How's that?
Sure, we could do that.
Okay. Well, I will see you at 10 o'clock in the morning. I look forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Round of applause for Marcel and John, everybody. All right. Who's got some
Good job,
feedback?
Marshall.
Who's got some feedback? Don't be
Um,
shy.
So I have a little feedback. I think she did a good job. I like her tone, her pace. The only thing that I am going to suggest, you want to create a sense of urgency. Okay. Remember, we're in a market we haven't seen in 20 years.
Right.
Okay. For me to decide that I'm not going to sell because I worked with an idiot, that should be your focus point, right? I don't want to see you miss out on a market we haven't seen in the last 20 years because you just didn't pick the right realtor. I mean, the bottom line is when you're in an industry where 90% of the business is done by 10% of the agents, it's going to happen from time to time. But I think at least having a conversation with somebody of my caliber, somebody who built their career selling properties that other agents couldn't do the first time around, is only going to be worth a conversation. Okay. Let me run some numbers. I can stop by tomorrow. When is you and your wife typically together? In the mornings or the afternoons? So you see what I did there, right? Took the focus off of the realtor, made it on the market, and then came back to the realtor and creating doubt that, you're in an industry where this happens, right? So it happens frequently, but now I'm also you're building yourself up as somebody who consistently gets the job done where others fail. And you shouldn't have to give up accomplishing your goals just because you worked with somebody who wasn't able to get the job done. Does that make sense?
I wasn't real sure how much I should boost myself in there. So.
Right. And I mean, I think that was probably the biggest thing. Why was I selling?
Oh, I forgot. Well, you had chosen a place to go, but then it fell through. So I don't know why you were moving.
So we got to remember, pain and motivation. We always want to find that out, because take, for example, say my motivation was to move to Savannah because I wanted to move closer to my family because I haven't seen them in 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, just because you worked with an agent doesn't mean you should have to miss out on the opportunity, not only selling above the list price because of the way the market is, but at the same time, save a ton of money on your next home because the rates are so low, and be able to be closer to your family. So many people you haven't seen in the last 15 years. I don't want to see you miss out on that opportunity. You shouldn't have to give that up just because somebody couldn't get the job done. Whereas you can see, for sale by owners are selling their own properties right now. Right? So let me show you what I can do, the way I market homes. It's let us to sell da 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 da.
That's good, John. Marcel, what
Does
did
that
you
make
feel about
sense?
that conversation that went well? What did you feel good about?
Well, he kept talking to me.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And it was a good conversation, I thought, going back and forth.
Very good. Very good. I thought you did a very nice job. I'd like to see you, as John said, you've got to make sure you get that qualify out. We got to know where they're going and why it's important.
Mhm.
I'd like to see more of your personality come through. With the questions, you got a little bit interviewish, which we want to stay away from because, again, you have that great voice, and you know, it just naturally people are going to be drawn to that. So, you know, put yourself into it. When you ask a question and you get an answer, kind of empathize with the answer. Make sure
Okay.
they know you've heard and that you care about what they're telling you. And then the third piece of advice that I would give you is to that stroke deficit that we've talked so much about. Create that stroke deficit and then take them down the pathway to setting the appointment.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, for those of you that aren't familiar with that term, as we've been talking about it, is before she says, well, what I'd like to do is come see the house, you want to create a stroke deficit by saying, I've listened very carefully to what you've shared with me today. In fact, I've taken some detailed notes. What I'd like to do is I'd like to do the due diligence. I'd like to dig in, put the data together, and get everything that you're going to need to be able to make an educated decision about what's best for you and what's best for your family. I can take the time to do that tonight and again in the morning, and probably get to you by tomorrow afternoon, or maybe even the next day if that works better for you. I want them to know, Marcel, that you're putting time, energy, effort into showing up and being a resource for them. And at the very minimum, they're going to have an opportunity to make an educated choice about what's best for them and their family. So there's no risk. And as you take them down that pathway, you should get the affirmative head nod every time.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? And if
Yes,
Dana,
said
go
I
ahead.
should have been more, have more empathy for his bad, his bad thing with the other agent too.
well,
And one other thing I was going to say, Marcel, with your voice and that accent, I'm telling you right now, you can get anybody to tell you why they were looking to sell.
Oh, thank you.
So I have
No
to
question.
ask, why in God's
geez.
serene earth would
Oh,
you
geez.
decide to even sell this house?
Now, I'm not
Right.
that bad.
I'm just telling you, I would floodgates, right? Just because you sound so sweet and genuine, right? You come across like that with a little bit more energy, your
Okay.
conversations are just going to go so much better.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
I
And it's
wasn't
just
making
practice.
fun of the accent. Right?
Yeah,
I was
just
just
a little practice, a little better every day. Absolutely.
I
All right.
love
It's
the accent.
yes, indeed.
Thanks.
It's about time to wrap it up. Does anybody have anything else they need from us before we wrap it up for the day? No, everybody feels strong. Everybody feels good. Everybody, the next 23 hours is going to do something that drives you and your family and your results forward. And take some notes on anything you run into that we can help you with tomorrow afternoon. Does that sound fair?
I
got an
really
exciting
appreciate all you guys doing the,
Oh, wait,
the role
Isaiah-
plays today. And Isaiah just jumped on. He's got an
Isaiah just
announcement.
popped on, said he's got an exciting announcement. So hang on a
I got
minute.
an exciting announcement for you guys. So we have a program called the Rainmaker 2X program. So if you want to write this down, we don't open it up to everybody, and it's only open probably like once a quarter, and then we close it back down. And what the Rainmaker 2X program is, it's a chance to actually have one-on-one mentorship, guidance, and coaching from Mr. Joe DeLeo himself.
I think he
Okay.
combined it
And-
both our names. He said Delito.
And basically what we do is we take every component of this sales and marketing playbook and he makes sure that you're implementing it into your business. And he goes through lead gen, lead follow-up, lead conversion, building out systems. You're going through your P&L to make sure that you're balancing your budget, the whole thing. And it is by application only. So we want to make sure it's a good fit. And I'll give you a quick story. You guys have heard of the Brown team. You might have heard me mention them. So since they started the Rainmaker 2X program, they went from 151 transactions that they're going to top out right around 280 transactions. And they've been with our this particular coaching program for about a year and a half now. So click on that link and you can check it out. It's open enrollment for probably the next couple of weeks. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. We just wanted to share the opportunity with you guys since you're engaging here today. Before we send out a text message, we're going to send a text message out to about 1,000 people to let them apply. And we'll probably take on maybe 7-10 people to start off with during the open enrollment and kind of go from there. So Joe, anything you want to add to there, Joe? Anything you want to add?
Well, you surprised me with that, Isaiah, that we were going to be talking
Yeah,
about that today.
I know.
So yes, I guess what I would simply add to that is that if you've joined me for a handful of sessions, you know very definitively that coaching is my passion. I think you also know that I'm extraordinarily good at it. And you know that I get frustrated when the actions aren't there and I want to reach in and I want to shake you and I want to transport you to the success that you deserve and what you should be having. So if you're committed to making money, if you are committed to learning every best practice and you want somebody with my personality that will drive you one-on-one every single week, that will get on the phone and close these appointments with you, that will make sure in terms of a listing presentation, you are a 10 out of 10, that will make sure every activity in your schedule has a duplicatable ROI. Isaiah said 8 to 10, but I can tell you that it's not going to be any more than 10 people. I'm going to work with 10 people every single week, one-on-one. If you want me in your life, you should fill out that application, but please only if you're serious, because otherwise we just will end up we may not like each other at the end. That's not true. I will always like you, but you got to be serious. You got to really, really want to run hard. And if you do that, I will be as invested in your business as you are invested in your business, and we will absolutely crush it. And that's the God's dog truth.
You get one of these once you hit your milestones.
Ooh, what's that?
So this is actually one that's going to go out to Bill Dalzell. He went from 50 transactions last year to he's going to do 70 transactions this year.
Nice.
So he's as you hit certain tiers, we just give you rewards along the way.
Nice.
I have questions.
Shoot.
Yeah. Here's a
what's the cost? I mean, I have to ask. I'm in beginner agent, so I have a budget. And
yeah,
two, if we don't do it now, is it going to be open down the road?
Yeah, it's usually by availability. It's just when it's going to open, we don't know because we want to make sure the quality of service is great, right? So, and then to the second part, if you're interested, Dana, I would just fill out the application,
Okay.
and you'll have an opportunity to talk to Joe directly.
Okay, sounds good.
That works.
Cool. You guys are awesome. Sorry about the mix up with the link today, guys. I don't know what happened with that, but we'll make sure everything's taken care of. So tomorrow at 1:15, things run smoother.
Is someone going to contact me? Because I was telling them earlier, I still cannot get into the marketing hub.
I promised you I'd send a note to support, so that I promise you that'll be done as soon as we're done, Dana.
Okay,
So
thanks.
they will reach out to you. Absolutely. Yep.
Sorry about that, Dana.
It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, we'll follow up on it ASAP. All
All
right.
right.
Have a good day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Have a successful 23 hours, everybody. Have a
Okay,
successful
thank you.
23 hours. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.